Hello, everyone, and welcome to the uh, 13th, episode of the SERPs of the Week podcast, where we explore strategies for achieving higher rankings in search engine results. I am your host, Alexa Chalova, and let me introduce you to our podcast guest today, Joseph S. Kahn. Joseph, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. We're super excited to be here.
Thank you. Let me introduce you quickly, right? And then we can go straight to our main conversation and talk more about how we can achieve higher rankings in SERPs. So Joseph is a rockstar SEO executive that specializes in all things digital marketing and search engine optimization. He has been harmonizing digital marketing since, 1994. Joseph, here is the question. How did Google look like back those days?
Google wasn't around in 1994.
Oh, you are right. So what did you, nothing, there were.
They didn't exist.
There was no search engine.
Oh no, we had search engine. We had, it started with an
Yahoo?
No, we had Yahoo for sure. There was Yahoo. There was all kinds of, there was Alcos, there was Jeeves, Ask Jeeves, there was all different kinds of weird things. There was search engine optimization back then, but it wasn't Google centric, meaning Google didn't control the search landscape.
By the way, when did Google launch their search engine?
I mean,
let me Google this out. Because I realized that
I do know that when I was the CIO for John Maxwell in the year 2000, that we actually were number one.
Well, it happened in August 1996.
There you
now
go.
We know.
There you go. Well, I started in 1996, but Google wasn't a big player back then. So they were very small, very just beginning. I remember Google being in a movie script where somebody said, she Googled me. I forgot the movie or whatever, but that's when Google really took off because it was in Hollywood. A real famous actor said, she Googled me. And then everybody's like, what does that mean? And so then Google kind of started taking off from that perspective. And it just took this thing. It took over all the, I want to say Netscape. Netscape was the search engine back then. Netscape got completely taken over. Explorer. Microsoft had Explorer. Remember?
Yeah, I remember that was the only option back those days, right?
It was, yeah. When you had a
Mozilla, someone kind of developed Mozilla, which is an open source thing, and then people switched to Mozilla, right?
Yeah. Mozilla, Lycos, Ask Jeeves, those were all kind of the ones back then. But then Google started taking over. But we had the #1 listing for leadership with John C. Maxwell in the year 2000. Not so much today, because now leadership is like a DA or a direct or a keyword difficulty of like 99. So, super difficult to get today. But back in the year 2000, we got it, So, but that was kind of the game. I've been doing the internet marketing stuff since 1994. So we've kind of gone through a lot of that. And I told my partner, because we started the SEO focused business just before the pandemic, right as the pandemic was coming around. But because I never...
You were a drummer, right?
So the drummer, yeah.
Yeah, right. So you're kind of, you were, first of all, a digital marketer, right? Started kind of, this journey, but switched to a musician, right? Yeah. And then finally we're back to, to your historical roots, I would say.
Yeah, because the pandemic took the music scene off the table. You know what I mean? Because you couldn't play anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. No live, you either had to go, on YouTube, basically becoming kind of, online group, right? So something like that.
Yeah, some people succeeded with that, meaning there was an opportunity there for that, and some people did.
But that was not easy because, it was pretty occupied before that. I mean, like, it's not easy to enter the market, which is kind of quite competitive, right?
It totally is. So we came in and got SEO focused. Most of the digital marketing money, we did $1 million launches. I had $1 million launch with a few partners in the internet marketing world. It was called Epic Traffic Systems. But my Epic Traffic System for that was actually Twitter and social media. I was also known as a social media guru in 2009. I worked on Obama's campaign. President Obama. I was on his Twitter.
Very impressive.
And I had the
So
top-selling Twitter course in 2009 called Twitter Cash Machine. It was the #1 ClickBank course for Twitter in 2009.
What kind of things this course were covering?
The course was covering how to get followers really fast, and then how to automate posting ClickBank, where you become an affiliate and then you can auto follow people that were around that niche, and then you could automate with Hootsuite, I think back then, using the delivery of these posts that had the affiliate links, using Bitly to track it. Like, I had a whole system. It's called the Twitter Cash method. But literally, you could go through and spend about 5 minutes a day and make $50,000 a month. Now, you can't do that now because Twitter locked everything down. But back then, I taught how you could get 20,000 followers in less than a month. But you can't do that anymore because they locked that down. I mean, they've locked everything down.
By the way, should we call Twitter now Xeter, or how?
We should call it X. Yeah, somebody corrected me on the podcast.
Because I was like, okay.
Just X. Yeah, it's just X now. The bird is gone. It's just X. I was on a podcast where they're like, you're saying Twitter, you're saying Twitter.
I wonder when people start to change all their posts about Twitter to X, because that is the most interesting thing, because, somehow Google starts associating X with Twitter, which is very interesting, right? How it's going to happen in terms of change, because the entity, right, is kind of changed, right? While a huge history, right, that we have in search engine results should be somehow associated with the new entity, right? And
we're watching it because they did originally, Elon did switch twitter.com to x.com. Like when it first got rebranded back in the day, it did switch, but it messed up all of their rankings, meaning all of the index and everything. And Google said, look, Google had to restore their database. So they switched it back to twitter.com because they didn't do all the 301s. They didn't do all the redirects, right? So if you in a big migration, you got to make sure you have your 301s all set up and ready to go when you do your migration.
I guess you have to write a really good script that will
really good script. Imagine how big that script would have to be for Twitter.
Yeah,
like
it's really kind of a huge project, actually.
A huge project. So Elon didn't understand the SEO ramifications. Just go turn it to x.com. No, you can't just do that.
Let's put a banner.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not the way it works. Yeah. Yeah, so
they
funny.
Will find their way to go to my website, right?
Just go to the letter X. They'll be there. Yeah.
Direct mail.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're killing me.
Yeah, that is very funny. Yeah, I think that is the main problem when you do rebranding, because
so we were mainly social media. The point is that we did direct mail, social media, affiliates was a big part of my launching and all that kind of stuff. We did partners. We got partners like you to send offers out of whatever the launches, whatever. We got that. That's kind of the main thing. Our traffic technique was using partners, using social media heavily. That I was a social media guru before SEO. So social media heavily, and that kind of marketing where it's ADA, attention, interest, desire, action, where you're getting a call to action. You're conversion based. We were conversion experts. We also had branding for power, positioning for power. We're positioning branding experts. So when we entered the SEO world, we brought with us positioning, branding, social media, all these extra things. And guess what Google was doing while we're doing this? Google at the same time was saying, we want to see EAT. We're talking about EAT. We want to see experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trust. And all that is all the previous work that I've done, from direct marketing to making sure your copy is correct, making sure your ADA formula, attention, interest, desire is correct, making sure that you have the experience from the customers. Because the first they added the experience is the experience of the customer, their testimonials, how they feel, stuff like that. So we understood marketing. It wasn't that SEO is like when we first got into SEO 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I was doing SEO a long time ago. Like I said, John Maxwell, we were #1 for leadership back in the year 2000, but it's not the same game today. Okay, there wasn't
Absolutely,
technical, yeah,
absolutely.
not the same game. That was just I keyword stuff, and I think I used some style sheeting where I had some keywords that were white out on black and stupid stuff like that. You could easily get it ranked by just keyword stuffing. You know what I mean? Like that was how we could
Yeah,
easily rank. We could keyword stuff and rank anything back in that day, but you can't do that now. You
yeah,
know what I
for
mean?
sure. But it's no
So
longer like that, right? So,
no longer. So
circling
you
back to
need those extra
EA,
things.
yeah. So, and
Yeah.
talking about, right, EET, right? So the
Yeah.
ones like, expertise, what authority, and what's the last one?
Trust.
Trust, right? So, all those four things, right? Four forces basically that you need to have.
I believe there's
It's
a
kind
fifth.
of,
I actually believe there's a fifth, and I think that Google hasn't mentioned it, but I know it's a fifth. There's a third E. Okay. There's only two that they've come on record, but there's a third that you're going to see. I'm telling you the future right now. I actually told about the experience E before Google announced it. I'm telling about another E before Google announces it. The only reason why I believe it's there is because it's in the new GA analytics. It's called engagement. So there's a
Okay.
new E. So there's three E's: engagement, experience, expertise, authoritative, and trust. So engagement means, and that's the social piece. So we were a social media expert before an SEO expert. And so now we go, Google says we need social media signals. Well, we're an expert at that. So we can easily get that
But it
because
was like that and before that, right? So social
yeah,
signals were kind of, they were kind of hidden ranking factors or whatever you
kind
can
of,
tell
yeah,
them,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. But
But they,
that's
they
why we were
kind of
ranking.
play a role for sure. Whenever, it's kind of also whenever,
Yeah.
your brand is kind of, whenever you search for any brand, right? You're going to see immediately, brand's website, maybe knowledge graph, and then for sure, right, social media channel that are actually also working as an additional social proof right here.
Exactly. And Google wants to see that social proof as a signal to kind of give it juice to go, we're not going to make a mistake by recommending this resource. Google's algorithm is to make sure that they're giving correct resources or giving correct responses. And SEO's job is we're just trying to manipulate that response. That's not our job. Our job is just to get in harmony with what the customer is trying to do and the people they're trying to reach. Because if we just do that, then our social media, how we write the pages, how we organize our site, how we silo our site, how we put graphics on our site, how we do everything is based on the user intention and based on making sure those match with what your customer has. So when we start SEO campaigns, the first thing we do is what are the services you provide and what are the areas you provide it in and what are your customers' main issues. That we can
Yeah,
get
for
you
sure.
as many customers as you can shake a stick at with SEO if you can give me those three things. Because we
Yeah.
can do keyword research now with those three things. We can find competitors with those three things. We can hone in on your area and see sweet spots with those three things. We can build your social media campaign around that. We can do everything. That's the harmony that we're talking about. And so we take that harmony from the tech to the marketing, to the message, to the management, to the mechanism. We call it all the 5 M's. All of these M's have to be in harmony with each other. And once you get that in harmony, then Google loves it because it's E. Literally, we have a training where we take E and match it to our harmonic framework that we build as a company. Meaning when we help take a company ranking, so say an HVAC company says, we need to get customers here in Oregon. That's literally what we do. But what we do, how we harmonize it, HumJam, is we just want to make sure what's the highest dollar return searches that your customers are doing. Meaning we want to hit the lowest hanging fruit with what makes you the most money. Because if you make money, then you keep paying us. You know what I'm saying? Like you keep us on. So
How
that's
do you
number one
define
priority.
that?
What's that?
How do you define that? I mean, like, the highest,
Super easy.
Yeah, highest search term that have the highest chances to be converted, most probably, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
lead to the right users, I would say.
It's super easy, and you already have all the tools. It's in SEMrush. It's in every tool that's out there. Ahrefs, SERPstat. All the tools that we use. The main thing we see, and my partner Joey Trent, I think you're familiar with him or shared some stuff with him. But Joey Trent, he's really good at this. What he builds, he calls these keyword sheets treasure maps. Okay, and the reason is because the data that you're looking for is in the CPC data. So when you pull a keyword research sheet, okay, and you see that CPC data, a lot of SEOs don't even use it. They're like, I'm not doing AdWords, I don't care about that, whatever. But that CPC data tells you the highest return for your client's keywords. Meaning, if you say you have a keyword set, and you see keywords that are $50, $50, $50 on CPC, cost per click. Okay, in the service industry, that's common to be that expensive, right? But if you see a keyword down there that says $150, guess what that says to me?
That is the right keyword, right?
So we sort all of our priority to the lowest keyword difficulty, the easiest to rank, but the highest CPC. And we also make sure that that high CPC is intent to book, intent to buy, intent to engage, intent to, because we have a checklist that says intent to engage. Yeah, yes. It fits the criteria. Yes. We can create content around this. Yes. The CPC is high. Yes. Meaning we put it through a checklist. If all those things are green, we sort that list. And when our clients hammer it, how we teach it or train it is they start with the highest dollar, easiest to get, and work their way down. Okay, so the clients are starting to get cash. Clients coming in within month, 2 month, 3 month of engaging with the people we train. They're already getting the highest value clients to their businesses quickly because we also are looking for low keyword difficulty. Meaning highest CPC, lowest difficulty that our clients can rank for. And then we know, because we do a competitive analysis to see the backlink gap between the top competitors, how many backlinks we need to get and what type and what DA in order to get those keywords and rank for those keywords. Meaning we can nail that in 5 minutes flat because it's just easy using SEMrush, using any of these tools and look up, do a backlink gap between the competitors and you. And you'll know how many high DA backlinks you need to compete with them. Meaning if you see your competitor shows 5, there's 5 backlinks that's really pushing their ball, you just need 5. And now all of a sudden you get the highest CPC and the highest producing and your clients start to make more cash going, these guys are amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like they are rocking it.
I have, by the way, a question about, basically it doesn't matter what kind of keyword difficulty we are going to rely on, whether it's going to be the one from Ahrefs, SEMrush, and so on. Do you think they're quite accurate or not whenever you basically, look at the keyword difficulty that you see inside the tool, right? And then you look just, basically at real search engine results with just by using basically
always do.
At what you see there, right? Just because I think, in my experience, sometimes I see some, I would say, some difficulties in terms of interpretation. There's difficulty because, for instance, sometimes I see very big brands like Wikipedia or something like that, while the difficulties, I don't really know, let's say like 10, 20, whatever it is, it's kind of low difficulty, I would say, right? It's quite easy. While, in reality, right, what we see is, sites, even though they might, there might be particular websites with quite high domain rating without any links back to those particular pages, but due to this authority, there is no chance to outrank them, right? So how do you recommend basically solving this problem?
Yeah, that's a great problem, and it's a quite interesting one that we get a lot of questions on. That it sounds like that's a specific particular instance where you hone in and get really manual with the details. We use tools to save, as you were saying, to save time. But Ahrefs, SEMrush, SERPs, SEO Power Suite, all the tools we use can say a different difficulty. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You're like, who's right? Which one is correct? Who's right? Whatever. So if it's like that, where you see them all kind of all over the place and they're not matching, and you're then we hone in. We go into Google and then manually look and manually do what we call a SERP audit. Meaning you're going to manually take the competitors and kind of where you want to hone in, or where I hone in. If it's a keyword that's got Wikipedia, Amazon.com, all those in the top 5. Those usually I don't count in the results, because people, if they're looking for specific information, they're going to bypass those now. Back in the past, that mattered, but it's not mattering so much because people, if they're looking for an HVAC repair and the common ones like the Walmart versions are up there, they're going to skip those and they're going to go right to the local because they want a local provider. So you need to be number 3 or number 4. You know what I mean? So in some cases, we're going to look at the SERP audit and go, what are we satisfied with? A 4 or 5? Maybe. Meaning we may go 4 or 5 would be great here because there's, so we're going to look at it and analyze. And even if we're using Surfer or Nitro to write the content, we're going to pull those out. Meaning we're not going to have it use those in our ranking audit. You know what I mean? We're going to take out these big competitors and we're going to look at the ones that look like us. We're going to go, is this the content? Is this the business in this result that looks like us? If nobody is there that looks like you or your client, back off. You won't rank. Meaning if the content you're trying to create doesn't look like the top 20 results in Google, back off. Meaning don't create it. Don't do it.
That is,
Yeah, it's not going to work. But if it does match, meaning if you're looking at the top 20 and you're like, oh no, my content definitely matches, but I'm not sure why this is out of whack here, then you would take those top 5 closest competitors and then you would do a one-off gap analysis between the two. You'd say how much content, you would literally one-off it. Or you could use Surfer and just hone those 5 in and then let it tell you how to write the content or compete against it. But then you would say, how many backlinks do they have? How many, like you would have to kind of do a manual audit to go, here's my competitors that's here. Here's what it's going to take. I need this many backlinks. I need to get my content score to like an 80 to compete or, whatever that is from a server perspective. You just have to manually, tools are to save time and be really fast and quick and easy. But if it's a hard, difficult, and it's worth it, meaning you're like, no, this is 200 CPC. We're going to work on this, then you work on it. You spend time on it and you manually. Because I tell everybody that you can manually do SEO. You don't need a single tool to do SEO right. Google provides everything you need.
And your
you just need your eyes. Yeah. Google provides every tool you need for free.
Yes. By the way, what about expertise, right? Since we started talking about content, right? And kind of comparing your content with the rest of other pieces that might outrank you, or just comparing your content, comparing your pages with your competitor pages, right? And so on. So what about
expertise is the easiest way to win that. That's the easiest way to win that game. Yeah, let me explain the secret here for your listeners, because I know we're almost out of time. But this is a real win, and it's really pushed the ball with our agencies that we train. And that's the expertise engine, and all that is. And again, I'm not sure. We've been doing this for 5, 6, 7 years because WordPress provides a plugin. It's called an author box. And we see big companies providing the author information on the articles, but what HVAC companies, regular companies, local service businesses, whatever, all of their content or their blog content doesn't have an author box on it.
Okay? Yeah, sometimes it doesn't even have a date or even who wrote this. Basically,
Exactly.
They put it in kind of, in the section of news even. So,
Exactly. So with an author box, so here's the key winning thing, because remember, authoritativeness is based on prolific. That's what authoritativeness is, which is why me and you, Alex, we create content constantly. Why are we creating tons of content? Why are we doing this right now? Because we want to be authoritative, meaning we're trying to create content and prolific. We want a lot of content that shows we're an expert. Okay, so it needs to be a good amount. So that's why social media, that's why your blog post or whatever. But if it's not attached to the author box, then Google don't know who's the author, doesn't know how to give the credit. So this is a key for everybody who's on the call. Every blog post, every client you have, everything. If you're servicing clients in a service, if you're doing local SEO for clients, that authoritativeness, that author box needs to be coming from the business owner, meaning all the content created on their, say, HVAC or plumbing or carpenter or whatever, needs the author box ghost written. If you're an agency doing that, you ghost write through the author as the owner of the company. And that author box is connected to their LinkedIn, connected to their certification in the HVAC, connected to them, and gives their site authority. Why? Because the authoritativeness is connected to the person who's running the company. Do you see what I mean? So that author box that attaches to the owner of the company, that attaches to their social media, will increase your rankings massively. We've done just simple changes like that, and we've seen the rankings go through the roof, especially now when you see all these. Google is killing rankings right now. If you're seeing it right now, rankings are going down. The algorithm, the EAT algorithm is taking shape right now this month, and people are losing rankings right now all over the place, except for the pages we have author boxes on. So author boxes is the authoritativeness key that you need on your site. If you don't have author boxes, then Google doesn't know how to apply that authoritativeness to your content. And it's not going to attach to your social media, the owner's social media, the owner's certification, the owner's, if he's or she's attached to the author box of the content, then Google will give it that authoritativeness algorithm mark, signal.
Yeah. By the way, Joseph, I wonder whether it's important to have, right, if you, like, for instance, running a local business, then most probably LinkedIn is not really the right channel, but maybe Facebook, right? Whether it's important.
Facebook's great for
whether it's important to have an active Facebook that will be actually, because here are the thing, right? I wonder, right, whenever you kind of say it, authorship with, in the B2B space, right, you put, content, let's say, like under your, my name, right? And then, this link goes to your LinkedIn profile that, kind of active. That is one thing. But I wonder how to solve this problem for local business, right? In the B2C niche, right? So what kind of profile they need to associate with, right? So because if they associate their own Facebook page, that is not right? So what kind of, social media channel they need to use? Maybe YouTube?
Yeah, and I think I saw on the screen, the Facebook groups are a big one. Like, using local Facebook groups are definitely a great way to build local authority. And a lot of even social services niches are doing that. Podcasts, service-based businesses are doing podcasts.
Definitely,
Yeah, and those provide great links. Like, there's a link strategy where podcasts are now providing links, because if you're on a podcast, you can get links, and that's a great linking strategy also.
And you can repurpose this content, right? So you can kind of, use this podcast in order to write content. If you have a group, you can repurpose this to your group. Then you can create a webinar and so on and so forth. So, opportunities are quite endless, right?
Yeah. I mean, LinkedIn is more B2B, but we have previous clients that we've worked with in UK. They were interior designs, but Facebook, they killed it on Facebook. Like, Facebook got them tons of clients and stuff. So Facebook is a great tool for the services-based local niches, stuff like that. B2B, of course, LinkedIn, but Google will look at your LinkedIn. Every business owner probably would have a LinkedIn profile that says, here's my education, here's my certification, here's who I am. You should, at least, okay? And then that's going to be used as your authoritativeness, meaning that's going to be used a piece.
Yeah.
I've seen a map where it just shows all these connected entity dots or whatever. It's just a dot that adds to what we call the harmony or the harmonics of building your core.
By the way, where our listeners can learn more about harmonic SEO, about, your upcoming training courses and so on.
Yeah, if they want to learn about me, josephskahn.com. That's my main list, and everything that I'm doing right now is coming through that. Meaning, if I have an announcement about HumJam.
Do you have an upcoming, kind of, I don't know, courses, or something like that?
Yes, we have.
An upcoming group, I would say.
Yeah, HumJam.com is in redesign right now. That's upcoming. So if you want details on that, go to Joseph S. Kahn and you'll be on the update on that. But HumJam.com is coming out as a training site that's going to have certifications in digital marketing harmonics and SEO and WordPress management. So everything from technical to on-page to all that kind of stuff, we have certifications in a harmonic way. Because when we teach SEO, it's not just like technical or whatever. All these pieces need to be connected for success. So josephskahn.com will get on the updates, but humjam.com, if you go there right now, it looks like we're an agency. That's being switched over to a new training site within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, exciting time then.
Exciting, super exciting.
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much, Joseph, for joining us today and for sharing so much knowledge. That was a pure pleasure.
Thank you. I appreciate
so guys,
it so much.
If you want to learn more about Joseph Wright, and if you are interested in learning more about his upcoming courses, please make sure to visit his website. We are going to share the link right below our episode on YouTube as well and LinkedIn. Thank you very much, Joseph, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. It was great.